Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is about the continuation of our Rubik's Cube 3x3 patterns. So the patterns we are going to discuss will be the cube in a cube, the arrow, the cross, the Pyraminx, and the corner pattern. So first up is our cube in a cube, which consists of 15 moves. And it goes like this. So it's F, L, F, U prime, R, U, F2, L2, U prime, L prime, B, D prime, B prime, L2, and U. So we have this 2x2 in our 3x3 cube. It's the same for the other side as well. So to put your cube back in its solved state, you have to perform U prime, L2, B, D, and B prime, and then L, U, L2, F2, U prime, R prime, U, F prime, L prime, and finally F prime. So our next pattern is the arrow pattern, which goes like this. U prime, F2, L2, U, and then D2, F2, B2, and then U, F2, L2, and D. So as you can see, there are patterns on the faces. So there's a blue, there's a green, there's white, and there's the red. To put your cube back, you have to do D prime, L2, F2, U prime, B2, F2, D2, U prime, and then L2, F2, and U. Now it's back. The next pattern would be the cross. Consists of 16 moves, and it goes like this. R2, L prime, D, F2, R prime, then D prime, R prime, L, U prime, D, R, D, B2, R prime, and U, and D2. So there is a cross on all 6 sides of our cube. So to put your cube back in its solved state, you have to do D2, U prime, R, B2, D prime, R prime, D prime, U, L prime, R, D, R, F2, D prime, L, and R2. So our next pattern would be the Pyraminx, consisting of 15 steps. It goes like this. D, L prime, U, R prime, and then B prime, then R, and then B, and then U2, D, B, D prime, B prime, L, U, and D prime. So it's similar to the arrow pattern, but instead we have the arrows pointing to one corner. So this yellow, orange, and blue are pointing to one. Also the red, white, and green are pointing to one. So to put your cube back in its solved state, you have to do D, U prime, L prime, B, D, B prime, D prime, and then U2, B prime, R prime, B, R, U prime, L, and D prime. Our last pattern is the corner pattern, and it goes like this. It has 16 moves. It's F, L prime, D, F prime, U prime, and then there's B, U, F, U prime, F, R prime, then F2, L, U prime, R prime, and D2. So as you can see, the center has been swapped and this corner has been turned. Same as this side, center swapped and the corner has been turned. So to put your cube back in its original state, you have to do D2, R, U, L prime, F2, R, and then F prime, U, F prime, U prime, B prime, and then U, F, D prime, L, F prime. So that's all the patterns we have for today's video. Do you have anything to suggest? Would you like to know anything? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to know if I posted a new video. D.I.C.E out!